Listen, you've probably heard about it, or you might have listened to music tracks online about it. Yes, I'm talking about the Drake and Kendrick Lamar rap feud that seems to be occupying everyone's social media feeds nowadays. While each diss track gets more and more personal, local rapper Tyler Rodgers, aka Charlie Fettah, from Winnipeg's Most, says it's actually good for hip-hop culture. Tyler is in studio now. Welcome. Hello.
Thanks you for having me.
Let's break this rap feud down for us. What do we know? Get us up to speed.
They've been throwing subliminal shots at each other for like a decade, like you covered in the intro there. I wish I knew exactly why it heated up so much, and I wish I knew the reasoning behind Kendrick kind of starting things off with his verse on Like That. But I mean, as a fan of rap and rap battles and hip hop culture in general, I'm kind of pleased. I love it. I don't really subscribe to the idea, especially when it comes to hip hop, that every artist needs to be best friends and sing Kumbaya. I think competition is healthy, and you know, the culture of MCing and the whole reason that most lyricists, you know, get into it is to call themselves the best, or at least, you know, represent themselves that way. So I think there's a lot of good to take out of the bad.
Right. And then you mentioned that it was subliminal before, but I mean, it's become pretty explicit now, and other people have been pulled in to these lyrics. What do you make of that escalation?
It's, you know, I think newer hip hop fans, this might be like, you know, whoa, what are they saying? But for someone like me, like I remember, you know, Tupac and Biggie, and the famous beginning of Hit 'Em Up is crazy. So I'm not surprised by, you know, the explicitness or what's being said. I am a little surprised that they took it to like women and children. It seems very personal, so I'm assuming that it's not, you know, a lot of people were like, oh, maybe it's like WWE, maybe it's made up, but I don't subscribe to that when it's getting this personal.
Kendrick calls Drake a, quote, sellout manipulator and habitual liar, unquote, even questioning his blackness.
Yeah.
When you get that personal, how much do you think that detracts from how it used to be, in terms of the battle that is, I guess, appropriate compared to what this is?
Yeah, I think. But here's the thing: anything's up for grabs. Like all's fair in love and war.
What do you mean?
Like I don't think when you engage in a rap battle, and this is just a rap battle, nothing is kind of off limits. It's the farther you're willing to go, usually, you know, has the bigger impact.
It's kind of like when we started doing the yo mama jokes, right?
Exactly, though. And it's one of those things where at this level of lyricism, especially Kendrick, and I have to be, you know, completely honest, I am team Kendrick in this. The level of lyricism that Drake knows that he's going against, I think has forced him to go a lot darker than maybe some of his fans would have liked to have seen or would have expected to have seen. But it doesn't surprise me at all that they're taking it this far. I'm just surprised that these two are taking it to where they're taking it with the children and the family. And, you know, Kendrick was directly talking to his son, his mom, his father. Like, it was...
Do you think the feud is genuine, or is this part of the shtick?
No, I think it's genuine, and I hope it's genuine, because if you were just saying these sort of things to get a rise, willy-nilly, exactly, then I would be like, a bigger question exists about their character to me. I don't think either of them have gone, quote unquote, too far. I just think that people that aren't used to seeing this, and especially at this level, like, these two are titans. Drake is the Madonna. He's the Prince. He's a one named artist, right?
And there's no one else who has risen to his level of fame.
No one else. And you brought up a good point of all the other people being pulled into it. Those are all people that Drake, I feel like people haven't dug into it deep enough. If they think those people all have valid reasons to be mad at Drake. Drake's done very, very greasy things in the industry personally. Like, Kendrick called him out for sleeping with Lil Wayne's girlfriend when he was incarcerated. Like, there is a lot of things that are being brought up that are actual fact. So Drake has done a very good job, and he's got an incredible team of kind of having this veneer over him. And I think the question, you know, I'm a white passing MC, so I don't really want to dive too much into the question of his blackness. But for someone like Kendrick, I can see that angle because Kendrick is so involved in the culture, and he's always been very adamant about lifting up his people, his community, his family. Even Mr. Morale had a big self-love therapy, fix yourself. Like, so I think, you know, they're just two opposite ends of the spectrum here, and they're both so, you know, huge. But in my opinion, I think Kendrick is just the more artistically gifted one.
And there are a lot of skeptical folks out there who may also say, I mean, this is about record sales.
I mean, it's hard to deny that or even, you know, kind of argue against that when I just saw that between the songs that they've all released, it's going to make up 20%. It's like all of their songs on all platforms are going to equal something like 250 million plus of the total streams in the US.
It's not insignificant.
It's not at all. And Kendrick is going to get a debut #1 for solo thing, and Drake, you know, Drake's going to play that like you still needed me to get your #1. So there's so many things at play that I can totally understand someone's thinking of that. But I genuinely think we're witnessing two guys who genuinely don't like each other on opposite ends of the spectrum. Both are huge. Like Drake is huge, Kendrick is huge, and they're having it out right now. And I think it's appropriate in hip hop that we should know that one of those guys should feel like the king. And now we're trying to see, you know, who's going to take it.
You've talked a bit about the difference between a rap battle and a rap feud. What's next in all of this, do you think?
I hope it doesn't get physical. I hope it doesn't get to the level of violence that we've seen in the past, you know, notably Tupac and Biggie, but there's countless others that are less publicized. I really hope it stays on record. I really hope that there isn't collateral damage. I really hope that people don't, you know, get killed or injured or, you know.
These are people's lives, right?
Exactly. And I mean, it's like I said, it's a hard opinion for me to have sometimes because I'm like, yeah, beef, like do it. It's great. But then don't cross that line. And it's hard to not cross those lines when you're in those situations. And especially when you're at those guys' level, they support so many people. So many people's livelihoods are dependent on them.
It's not just one artist. It's actually a whole network.
It's a whole network of people. And there's just, you know, things roll downhill. And so who knows? So I really, really hope it just stays on record.
From your unique frame of reference, what do you think people should make out of all of this or take from all of this? Because there is a lot of things that are set as facts but may not be facts. There's a lot of innuendo.
Yeah.
From your very unique lived experience, what do you think people should take from this?
Don't believe everything they say. It's a rap battle. Part of rapping and part of hip hop culture is the bravado, the larger than life. You know, you say something because it sounds good. You say something because it's visceral. It's going to incite a reaction. That being said, there is some obvious personal information involved in this, but don't take it as, you know, the word of the higher. Like keep in mind that it is a rap battle at the end of the day.
Keep that skeptical brain on.
Keep the skeptical brain on because you're going to say anything to injure the guy. That's what I'm saying. All is fair in love and war. Anything to win. And so you don't know what's true. I don't know what's true, but I'm just sitting. I think at the end of the day, I'm Team Kendrick. I got to be on record again, but I think the fans are winning. And I think we're seeing two high level artists go at it, but I just don't think that, you know, people should be taking everything take it at face value, take it with a grain of salt, take it as entertainment, because at the end of the day, it is entertainment.
It's been ongoing for more than a decade. It may be ongoing longer, or this may be the end of the culture. We'll see.
I hope it. I hope we get a couple more.
Tyler, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Take good care.
Yep.
Local hip hop artist Tyler Rodgers, he goes by the rap name Charlie Fettah, is part of the local hip hop group Winnipeg's Most.